Today's video, I'm going to show you one of my favorite exercises for the triceps, the bodyweight tricep extension. The intensity of the exercise is determined by how high you have your rings. If you're someone that's new to this movement or not that strong, I recommend setting the rings higher. As you get stronger, you can progressively put the rings lower towards the ground. So to start off with, chest height to stomach height, and then as you get stronger, closer towards the ground. Firstly, let's talk about what's happening at the elbows. I see two types of form used for the bodyweight tricep extension. First being a soft lockout. I see this mistake, it's quite common, and on the surface it looks like the form is going okay. The person's locking out their elbows, but they're only doing it to a soft extent. What I mean by this, they're not contracting their arms and squeezing the back of their triceps as hard as they can. Will you get results doing this? Sure. Is it the most optimal way to get the most out of an isolation exercise? Probably not. What I recommend instead is really strict form where you're focusing on a hard lockout every single rep. Every time you straighten your elbows, really squeeze the back of your arms, the triceps, as hard as you can. I like to do a momentary pause once I've contracted the arms to really solidify this position, be honest with myself, making sure that I'm actually getting the most out of the movement. Check yourself, make sure that you're doing that pause at the end, and your triceps will light up with that small change. In terms of maintaining pain-free, healthy, strong elbows and shoulders, I'd recommend keeping a tucked elbow position and at most, flaring out within the scapular plane. That's a very comfortable position for the shoulders and the elbows, and then you'll feel the exercise working your triceps, which is what we want. We want to stimulate the muscle without injuring ourselves. It's a marathon, not a sprint when it comes to strength training and building muscle. The error that I see people make when they're new to the movement or trying to progress too quickly is flaring the elbows. So when the exercise gets harder, your body seeks strategies where it's strongest. So it's trying to employ your shoulders and even your chest to come into the movement and contribute. Chances are if you do this and you're working at a high intensity, you're going to get elbow pain or potentially shoulder pain. When you're doing this movement, the most important thing to make sure you're doing the exercise properly is the forward lean. If you lean forward during the exercise, your triceps will be under relatively constant tension throughout the range of motion. The common mistake that I see people make is what I refer to as coming off tension. When they extend the elbows straight, they shift the weight back onto their heels, and this unloads the triceps. This is really bad because if you shift back far enough with your elbow straight, you think you're doing a full lockout, but you might as well just be extending your elbow straight and doing an isometric contraction with no body weight, no weights, because there's no tension on the muscle. Make sure that you're maintaining a forward lean during the bodyweight tricep extension by staying on the toes. So as you go down, lean forward. As you go to straighten your elbows to do the lockout, stay leaning forward. That's a very important point. Hip positioning is really important and it ties into what we were talking about before in terms of the forward lean. So if you're in a hip extended position, your weight will be shifted forward, lots of tension on the triceps, good body mechanics, posterior pelvic tilt, straight back, and a plank position. The mistake that I see people make is as they go to extend, they pike their hips. This creates that posterior weight shift, unloads the tricep. As you're going down, I see people doing a hip pike as well. This is a compensation to make the exercise easier. Make sure that you're at a height that you can actually do the exercise with a good posture. Chances are if you're piking your hips on the way down and the way up, you're doing a progression that's too hard, you need to scale things back. Remember, it's an isolation exercise, don't go too crazy. I want to end this video by giving you guys my recommendation when it comes to sets, reps, and intensity for the bodyweight tricep extension. We need to remember that we're doing an isolation-based movement, so mainly single joint focused on the triceps. We're going to get the best efficiency and effectiveness so we can get the most work done and have that work be effective, safe, injury-free by working within 3 sets of about 8 to 15 reps. The error that I see people make is trying to go too high intensity. What's the point? Are you really trying to build max strength in a bodyweight tricep extension? There's just no potential carryover. It's mainly an accessory movement to build muscle which will serve you elsewhere in your training. You got to think, if you're working a really high intensity 3 to 6 rep set, your form is really likely to break down and you're likely to use other muscle groups, other strategies to contribute. So you're less likely to actually be working your triceps. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed the video, show your support, drop a thumbs up on this video. And if you guys want to learn more about bodyweight exercise, building muscle, building strength, and mastering your body weight, head over to fitnessfaqs.tv and sign up for my training courses. Take out all the guesswork for you guys. You pretty much follow the plan, put in the work, and get the results. Sweet guys, I'll check in with you next week Friday on Fitness FAQs.